Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Jesse here. It's such a blessing to know that so many of you are out there enjoying our YouTube videos. Thank you for doing that. Now, you don't want to miss anything, so like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. Why? So you will know every time we post new content. That's like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Pretty simple, isn't it? Now, watch this.
Hello and Merry Christmas and welcome to Glorious Living. Today I'm going to have a special time with Chrissy, my friend.
Love being
just
with
us
you.
Two.
Just us girls.
We always have other people in here and we don't always get to chat with just each other.
I know, I miss you, Miss Cathy. I had Miss Cathy all by myself today. I love it.
I have you all by myself.
It's
but
good.
We're going to have a fun time talking about Christmas. I know everybody is excited about Christmas. Is just a few days away.
Yes.
When they see this, I think it's just a few days from then. But,
yes, exactly.
So we know that this is a special time that we're thinking about Jesus and his birth and celebrating with our families, so we just want you to join in with our conversation and talk about Christmas.
That's right. I love Christmas. Christmas joy, the joy of the season. You know, we mentioned it in the previous boardroom chats and then talked about the most wonderful time of the year and how Jesus is the reason for the season.
Yes.
And it's such a great time to chat about it with your family and friends. So I encourage you to do that. When you're watching this, share it with somebody. Let them know Jesus is the reason for the season. Maybe comment your favorite Christmas memories so we can rejoice with you. It's so good.
Yeah, it's good to share your story. And in my magazine this month, you know, last week when Jesse was here, we talked about his article.
Yes.
And so this week, I'd like us to talk about the article that the Lord put on my heart to put in our monthly magazine.
Yeah.
Now, if you've never seen our monthly magazine, I want you to just look at it. It's really
gorgeous.
Beautiful. It decorates my coffee table at home so nicely.
It is.
But it says joy to the world, and of course, it's got the photo of the nativity. I'm trying to fix it so it doesn't glare.
So much. It's such a beautiful piece of artwork, and we actually have it in the church.
Yes.
You know, and it's
on
beautiful on the big
digital
screens.
Screen.
Yeah.
Right.
Great reminder that he's the reason, the little baby Jesus right there. I love it. Sleeping all sound. I wonder if it really was a silent night for them, if he was really a quiet baby.
I heard that it was a silent night because Joseph forgot to make that reservation, you know, and Mary was not happy about that.
That seems very relatable. Yeah.
So it was pretty silent. I heard that joke this week.
I heard a good joke too. It says if the wise men were three women, if it was the wise women, they'd be bringing diapers, formula, and casseroles.
Yeah, and they'd have brought a casserole. And there really would be peace on earth. That's what I heard on that
That's
one.
some good stuff. Yeah, we always need a casserole.
You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun. And I have so many fun memories of Christmas. And you know, we've often talked about, I think we've done that a few times, but Christmas really is a special time of year. And it's important that you share memories with friends. When you get together, hey, you can say, hey, remember last Christmas when we did this and that?
Yes,
and
I love it.
Jesse and I love to talk about the memories of looking at the lights, because that's still fresh to us.
Yes.
And we enjoy thinking about it. So whatever your memories are, you be sure and share those with each other. And let us know, too. We want to hear your great memory of Christmas.
We do. And I can remember, you know, when I first started working at the ministry, when I first began, the Christmas decorations were up. And I walked into the ministry and I saw the big, beautiful trees and the garland. And you could just tell that JDM, we have such Christmas spirit. But we carry it out throughout the year.
We do. When they drive on the property, maybe they can get some shots and pop this in. I'm not sure if they can or not. But they have, we have a big lit Christmas lighted tree, you know, just with the string of lights. It's white, and in front of it has a nativity. It's very simple, but it's classy. It's right in the middle, in the front of our executive building. Then when you go through the executive building, you see the garland on the stairwell, because we have a nice curved stairwell and a balcony that has garland with red bows on it. It's really special. And it was always important to me to decorate the ministry, to let have our staff feel the spirit of Christmas and know how important Christmas is to us. To take the time, you know, and in the beginning I bought all the decorations and I worked with the teams, but now I have someone that does that for us. The maintenance and the housekeeping staff get together and they decorate it.
It's awesome.
They
it's
do
gorgeous.
a great job.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. And you can feel it when you step in, that Christmas joy. I know we spoke with Boss about joy and how it's such a big part of the season, and getting together and drowning out those depression, all that. We don't need all that junk. We don't want any of those satanic things kind of trying to hit us from all directions. We just want Jesus and all the gifts he brings.
Yeah, It's so wonderful. And the Christmas decorations remind me of that. Like when you drive on the property too, now in the front of the sanctuary we have, it's all decorated really beautifully before you come into the church. And the Simply Put girls did that for me this year.
Did.
So they took it up a notch. Like I often say, they're 6-star effect.
Stars, yeah.
It looks really good in the sanctuary. If you've been watching on Sunday mornings, you see that. It's so beautiful.
It is awesome. It's awesome.
But Christmas is more than just decorations. It's about lives being changed. And because of Jesus, Jesus is, like we say, the reason for the season. But he changed our lives, and he's changed so many people's lives. In fact, you were telling me about a story in this issue of the magazine.
I loved your article, Christmas Joy, and that was just a beautiful statement. And when I read your article, you spoke about that story with you wanting to make Boss feel great on Christmas, and you always knew he loved the lights, the Christmas lights. Yeah. And so you went the extra mile that Christmas before he came home to decorate.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about it when it was warmer. I waited till the cold front came in and did it at night.
Yeah, but sometimes the last minute's the best. It's like you pull out all the stops and it looks the greatest.
Sometimes it's just good to do something for someone else that makes their life really special. It made me feel so good when he just still is talking about it here. It's 40 years later, probably.
He does mention it a lot. You can tell it's a beautiful memory that he has. That you
and
gave
we
him.
often thought, and it had been several years where we could have afforded the lights, we just never did it. Sometimes you just got to get a plan, get it together, and then follow it through.
Follow through, that's right. And then create those memories that you look back on. Now I have a little bebe, my little girl. Sophia is here. This is her first Christmas. And Luis and I were thinking about that. She's
How old is she?
She's 5 months, but she's going to make 6 months on the 29th.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so it's like time is flying by.
It really
seems
is.
like I was just sitting in your chair like this, being like, welcome to glorious living, all pregnant and swollen.
Yeah, I remember you tried to
to
put a pillow in front of you to hide. But why hide that, man? That little Sophia was making her presence known.
She was making her presence known, and she still is, and it's a blessing, but it's her first Christmas, so now I get to reflect on those memories of my family getting together, and things changed, but I get to bring my own style as a parent to her and take the things that my mom and dad have done and just revamp them and make it Chrissy style and make it the Cifuentes family Christmas now. And it's just great. And that's another story you mentioned in the magazine about you and your family and your mom throwing those big parties with all the kids.
My mother doesn't cook now. She's 92, but she has been the best cook in our family, of course.
She's a Cajun, that's why.
But she even had some of her recipes published in a magazine, and she really does a great job. Everything she did with excellence, whether it would be sewing or, cooking or things like that she did. She's very creative, hard worker. But I remember that she had 6 children, and she made this amazing pecan cake. She would peel the pecan, shell the pecans herself and make it with some, I think it was probably with condensed milk, so it's good, sweet.
Nice and fattening like it's supposed to be.
It's almost like a candy on top of a cake, a yellow cake. But all of the kids wanted a corner when she would make it a square cake and layer it. We all wanted a corner, but there's only 4 corners.
That's a problem.
She would bake a 9 by 13, but she'd do double, and so she'd make it like that. And we all wanted a corner, so she fixed that. She made another separate cake and cut the corners off. So she put a corner in the middle on the long side. So we had 6 corners.
That's awesome.
And it was so fun to see that we could all get a corner. Mama made a way. Mamas know how to make a way.
That's right.
To make it special and memorable.
That's right.
And so this was something new. Her family hadn't done it, but it was a new tradition that she put in our family. And what happened was that as after the 6 kids started having kids, so the kids could delegate. Okay, I would say I'll let Jody eat my corner. So I didn't have to eat it, but I would give it to her. I still just had one corner.
Yeah.
My family represented one of the corners. So my brother, who had 2 kids, he could decide which one of the kids would get that corner.
I love that because you were still, even though you were grown with your own children, you're still her baby. And she made sure you got your corner.
It was our celebration.
So. That's so good.
She had 2 specialties, the pecan cake and that oyster gumbo, which was amazing. We're still drooling just thinking about it.
Yeah, gumbo's a Christmas staple.
Especially in South Louisiana.
That's right.
You have to have gumbo.
That's right. And you just got to pray we don't have a 90-degree Christmas because you never know what you're going to get.
We eat gumbo
here.
no matter what
temperature.
temperature.
No matter what
outside.
temperature. It can be sweltering hot, but we're eating the gumbo.
Gumbo is, if you've never heard of gumbo, it's like a broth, a delicious broth. Good. And you could have different types of meats in it. I like to make a chicken sausage gumbo.
Yes.
My mother would always have like 3 different types of gumbo. So you have there's a statement that in South Louisiana, you may not have heard it, but this is kind of qualifies you whether you're really a Cajun or not. The questions are, and I think it was the heading of a cookbook. It says, "Who's your mama? Are you Catholic? And can you make a roux?" Have you ever heard of that?
No, but I'm trying to answer it and see if I qualify.
Who's your mama?
I know who she
Are
is.
you Catholic and can you make a roux?
I was Catholic and I cannot make a roux,
Oh,
so
really?
I'm not a real
I have
Cajun.
to show you.
Oh,
I have
Miss
showed
Cathy,
some others.
It's hard for me to do anything, but maybe I could fry an egg. That's good sometimes.
You just
Maybe
need someone to teach you.
I do. I need to take time. Maybe make a memory together. Maybe I'll make a roux with you one day. Because I've had your gumbo and she can cook.
Yeah, a roux
She
is
can
basically, well, I make I put in 4 sticks of butter and
That's
3 cups of flour, and then I stir it kind of slowly over medium for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And it turns into this beautiful, sort of like peanut butter looking mixture. And then I put in lots of onion and celery and bell pepper.
The Trinity, they call
The
it.
Holy Trinity. Yeah, the Trinity and the seasoning Trinity. And then I'll put the broth and then the meat.
So
And
good.
different
Slow
kind of
and
meats.
steady.
Slow and steady.
You know, my dad for Christmas, he makes the corn soup. It's like the Cajun
That's pretty good,
specialty with
too.
the shrimp. And it's so good. And it makes me just rejoice thinking about...
Does he have corn on cob in there?
No, he doesn't, but he takes it off. So there's a few types of the corn that he does, but he does the roux and he puts the big Gulf shrimp in there. It's so
wow.
delicious. It
That
tastes
sounds
so
good.
good.
I could
You
smell
know,
it.
and there was, I know I could just like, man, we're talking a lot about food lately. But you know what? The New Year's coming.
That's right.
We're going to enjoy this while we can, y'all.
Yeah,
it's good
that's
stuff.
right.
But I think back about, you know, how the devil tried to come and attack my dad's health and how there was lies coming, well, you won't have that corn soup, this, that, and the other. But look at the miracle
This
he's
was
here.
the year. Your year was like this. I remember early in this last year and this, but this year we got his breakthrough.
He had a breakthrough, and you know the doctors were coming in saying we're going to have to put him on hospice. And I love to share that story how he was in the hospital bed and we were all gathered around. The doctor came and said, "Mr. Carter, we can make you comfortable and we can put you in. You know, we'll do everything we can, but there's really not much more we can do." And he just took he had remote control. We call it the clicker. And as the doctor was talking, he just turned up whatever he was watching, some sports, and the doctor was like, "Wait, did he just like turn up the volume on me?"
Sometimes you need to just put the volume up on what you want to hear, not what you
Yes.
don't, and ignore the things you don't want to hear.
Yes, exactly. And that doctor was planning for us to not have our father for Christmas. That it was done. Look where we're together. We had Thanksgiving, we had Father's Day, we had all of these beautiful
And he
holidays.
got
We'll
to
have Christmas
experience your
again.
little,
yes, and now
Sophia.
now he's holding my little girl and loves her so much. And she goes over there. My mom watches her, so he gets to see her and be with her every day, and just see how believing the report of the Lord, not accepting those bad reports, not denying it like Boss says. We don't deny it, but we deny its right to affect us. Putting those principles into place that we've learned at the ministry. I mean, we're together and I get my corn soup because he's here to cook it. And so it's just a Merry Christmas to even think about those miracles.
What a blessing
you know?
for your family to have that.
Yeah.
That's a gift.
It is.
The gift of Jesus includes everything, and and healing is in that gift.
That's right.
He is our healer. He is our deliverer. He is our salvation. Everything that we need comes from Jesus.
So good.
And I'm so thankful that your family is experiencing that.
Yeah, me too.
You're gonna have to bring me some of that corn soup.
I will. Mama, you heard that? Save it. Well, that means I can't eat it all because oh goodness. Oh, my mom.
I'm not
is
talking
such-
about a lot. I'm just talking about those portions.
Okay.
You
You know,
can spare it.
we like big portions though.
Maybe
We're
I'll
gonna-
just have to take your word for it.
Okay, no, I'm gonna get it to you. It's so delicious. But the thing is it's just thinking about all of those memories and cherishing every moment and knowing that God is in everything and even in the little things. He's in it, all the gifts under the tree. Another story I know that you love to talk about is you were always a giver and you would wrap some of your things you've already had to put under the tree for your sisters. And I just think that's so sweet because, you know, it was always in your nature to give.
I love to give, and I didn't always have it to give. And so I have a memory of wrapping up my own slippers and putting it under the tree for one of my sisters. And that was a fun thing to think about, you know. And I just love giving, and it's just a fun thing. One time when we we had just started the church, and then we had a Christmas where I remember we were all in the sanctuary, and I had it on my heart to go and get gift certificates from the bookstore. And because I remember there was a time when I didn't have money to give, so I said, let's see, I think I had like 20 of them, I can't remember what. But I said we were going to give out gift certificates to the bookstore, because there are many of you, I don't want to just give you money, I want to give you something that you can use to go and buy gifts yourself. And so it was not on Christmas, it was a week or so before Christmas, so that we could do that. And it was wonderful giving that out. And then we just started, and I shared that story of how I always wanted to give and couldn't. And so Jesse was there at that time, and he encouraged the congregation to tell their story. And different ones got up and told the story, and it was so beautiful. I don't even know if we had cameras in there at the time when we recorded it at all, because it was in the early days of the church. But it was such a beautiful time, because I remember one person said he was remembering that as he was a child of a pastor, and his mom would make this big Christmas dinner, and they would split it in half, and then they would have a half for their family. They cooked enough for their family, but she cooked enough for them for another family to go. And so he would go with his dad to somewhere and bring this Christmas meal to someone. And so he was so blessed to have that memory that him and his dad had done that at Christmas. And then then just not long after that, because they brought it to somebody that was homeless who didn't have much. And so right after that, someone stood up, and there was like a family of 4, and the mother stood up and said, I was one of those families that people brought food to, and now God's blessed me and I can help someone else. But that just kind of like brought it full circle, and it just showed how beautiful the spirit of giving can be when you just let God direct you and lead you and guide you and prepare the way before you get there.
That's right.
So it's a wonderful memory.
Oh, I love that so much. And even I know when we speak about giving, it's not always, if you say, I have nothing to give a smile, give an experience, give a hug. I mean, just having somebody there to listen to. So oftentimes people are like, I have nobody to talk to. So just giving a listening ear to somebody can just transform their whole day, their whole life, and then it's contagious. They're going to keep on giving to somebody else who wants that.
It's important during the holiday time, because that's when people are more sensitive to receive from you. But it's important year-round. And I think you read me a testimony.
I
want you to get to that, because everything that we do here at the ministry is with one purpose. It's to reach people and change lives one soul at a time.
That's right.
And so there's a lot of effort that goes on behind the cameras, and that's all made possible by our partners. So just before I shift to read the story, I just want to say thank you for these partners that help us so much. We so appreciate your partnership. Everything that we do here is because you've stood with us over these years, and here we've had 47 years of ministry, about to go into 48 years of reaching people and changing lives, and our partners have helped us do that and reach people all over the world. And if you're not a partner, you can be. You can go to JDM.org or use PayPal, text to give, where there's the app, which is a really easy way to do that as well. You can select giving, or you can mail in your donation. All that information's on the screen. But that helps us to have testimonies like this one you're going to read. This is a one soul at a time.
I love this so much. And Miss Cathy, you're so right. There's so many different things that you can do to strengthen your faith with the ministry, whether it's reading the magazine or our products, the books, the social media content daily. It really is amazing what we're doing. It's an honor to actually be a part of it.
And all of this
is
in English as well as Spanish.
Yes.
So if you have a Spanish friend that needs to be encouraged, you can send them the link to get the Spanish magazine. They can read it digitally. If you don't have it, you can get it mailed to you, of course, but you can watch it, read it now digitally.
Digitally and in Spanish. It's wonderful. So this is a great testimony. I just read it and I thought it was awesome, because we're talking about family and memories. And it says, my father is no longer with our family, but when he was alive, he'd sit in his recliner and he would be laughing so hard while watching your messages. He was a blessing in our home. Now you'd have to know my dad to understand why that was a big deal, because outside of the religious organization that he was associated with, nobody else was saved. So I watched how the ministry of Jesse Duplantis changed his life and brought him freedom. He learned that God's existence was bigger than a religious organization. Thank you so much for your assignment to the body of Christ. That's amazing. I love hearing that. Like, it was bigger than a religious organization, because so many people get tied up in religion and they forget that Jesus is a real person. And I believe Boss says he's a present power. That's what he describes Jesus. He's not a past figure. He's a present ever-present power.
Ever-present, right.
And I think that sometimes we forget that because we see the nativities and we talk about way back over 2,000 years ago, God came, but he's now.
Yeah.
And he's walking with us. He's with us each and every day, and he's bringing that joy, that Christmas joy, through the ministry out to you every day, through everything we do. So good, so good.
Yeah, that's in this article that I have in mind. Let me just show you my picture, my article here.
That's from
Christmas
the
joy.
very first Glorious Living that we've ever
it?
done, that picture. Yeah, we started
Yeah, we took this
right,
picture.
Yeah, we took it right before.
Because we started doing it here during the Christmas season, right after Thanksgiving.
It was right
that
after
first time.
Thanksgiving.
Has it been a year?
Oh, it's been two. It's
2
over
years.
2 years. We've been doing this for a while, right, Jennifer? Yeah. So I'm telling you what. So when I saw that picture, it was reminded about how we began this.
Right.
And it's been a blast ever since.
It has been. And this one pull quote says, "I believe that our lives should be a demonstration of Jesus' plan for all people to enjoy
that's
life."
good.
That's really what he came to do, to help us to enjoy life. That's what he said in John chapter 10, verse 10. He says, "The thief comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy, but I came that you might have life
Thank you,
and have
Lord.
it more abundantly." He says, have and enjoy life, I think, in the Amplified Bible.
Yes.
So joy to the world was not just an announcement that the angels made. It was something that God intended for us to experience personally.
Yes.
In our personal life, but also as families together.
As family together.
And be an expression of that, because the world needs to see joy today.
Oh, is that not the truth? And I feel like sometimes families can get wrapped up in all of these little things. They let the disagreements. There's a bunch of jokes. So I go on social media and they talk about Christmas dinner. It said, one person said, "Promise me when the fight erupts at the Christmas table during the dinner, take your phone out and record it and post it. I want to be entertained."
Hear it. They want
that's
entertainment.
it. And I'm like, that's terrible. You know what I mean?
I don't keep up with all of that like you. Let me know what's going on. You got to keep me in the loop here.
I'm always on social media, but I know it's a joke and people were laughing about it, but it's true. People want the drama, but we have to say no to the drama. And I mean, there's just so much, like you said, going on in the world. Why do we need to focus on those things? We have the mind of Christ. Let's say joy to the world, rejoice, and mean it, and not let these negative thoughts and these in the family strife or things that happen. Just forgive and have a good time with your family. You don't want to record the drama and post it for everybody to see. That's crazy.
That's so good. It's true. It's good wisdom from a young woman like you
Oh,
are.
well, thank you. I try. And thank goodness my family, we get along. We love the Lord. We love each other. But the thing is if there's those little disagreements, it causes strife, and you want to plant seeds of joy, like we always talk about, that the word starts as a seed. So what a great opportunity to share Jesus sitting at your kitchen table with your family. I know you did, and now this ministry is here, and you listen to the instructions of the Lord, and you put the crosshairs on boss, and now look at him. So
Yeah, and still, even the day-to-day things happen. You have to decide, how do I want to approach this? Am I going to fight this? Is it going to be another battle, or am I just going to let that thing roll off? Sometimes you just got to ignore things and walk forward. There were times when people came up to Jesus and they spoke to him. And sometimes he didn't even answer him. He just walked on. He didn't respond to the turmoil. Sometimes he addressed it, but you have to know which times. You have to be led by the Spirit. The Spirit of God can help you to know what is your reaction. What should your reaction be? And you should always choose peace. You should always choose love. But there's a way to express yourself and a time to do that. And Christmas is a time for celebrating Jesus. Just remember, it's His birthday. We're celebrating Him.
Yes.
We're celebrating the fact that He came to the earth. He was born, of a virgin.
Yes.
The prophecy that was promised of Him, even from Isaiah, 700 years before Jesus was born. And all the different prophecies have all come to pass. And His prophecy that He will return will come to pass as well.
I know. I love when we talk about that.
He's coming back. Not only did He come, He went to heaven, but He's coming back again, and I'm looking forward to that day.
I cannot wait to see Him. Look, and I believe we will be the generation to see Him. What wonderful way to just look up and see the Lord on the cloud coming back for His bride. But we got a lot of work to do, too. And I know we're planning on it. Keep on working for Jesus so that we can get the word out and the gospel out to everyone, and so that they know that He's real. He's real, and He's with you each and every day.
Yeah, and that's why put so much effort into things like these tools. This is one tool that we have because we often talk about that we want to use every available tool or every available outlet. This is one tool that God uses to reach people, and this has been being printed since I think it's 1978.
Wow.
I did the first one.
And you said it was
79.
like a at first
it was
just
one
a pamphlet.
sheet, one sheet where I would always have a message from Jesse. I had published his schedule, which is why it kind of got started, because everybody was starting to ask us, hey, when Jesse was started the evangelistic ministry, where is he going next week? Where is he going to be? So I would start keeping a list of it, and people were starting to send in testimonies, and I always had like a little testimony section, and we called it Jesse's Travels back then. I think we call it that again now. On the road with Jesse.
Yes.
And so it's grown over the years, and we share our vision in there as well.
I love it.
But I remember getting a artwork, and I have it in my office, from someone that had a picture of the magazine. That's when it was two color. It was just white with red ink on, red and black ink.
Yeah.
And so it was like taped to the side of a camel, and he was going through the desert with it. And it was, I have it in my office. I need to get a picture of that, and y'all could put it on this. But it's beautiful to remember that this word goes places where you don't even think it'll go. It's been like in the South China Sea, people read it thinking, sent us a testimony how they got born again because they read it.
That's beautiful.
And I have heard pastors say that they use the content in it for their sermon material sometimes too.
That's good. That's
as
good.
well. But it's reaching people, and this is just one tool. The television is another tool. All the social media that we started increasing in 2020 because COVID came, and my husband Jesse wasn't traveling much, so we started increasing our presence on social media. And you were hired about that time,
right
to
before
help us.
COVID. It was really just God knew. God knew that there was a new thing to be done here. And I came in January 2020, and then when COVID hit around March, but we hit the ground running. And let me tell you, millions and millions of people.
Over 62 million views have increased just since 2020. Of course, we were on social media long before that, but we really quadrupled our footprint out there and spread it out into different areas and increased what we did. And it's been so supernatural to see so many lives that have been reached.
It really, what a wonderful Christmas gift to us, to know that people are watching
That's so true.
and being blessed, and that
and
God
their Christmas is going to be different because they know Jesus.
That's right.
All the people that have been born again are touched because of the broadcast, because of these programs, because of our traveling evangelistic ministry all over the world. Lives have been reached. People have been changed.
And they're realizing their potential, that they can live, you can live a glorious life in Jesus.
That's
and
so true.
You have a vision and a calling. I love when you say step into your yes. Well, we're stepping into our yes, and we're running forward to the new year.
That's right.
Being together, doing these programs, and we just love that you're watching and listening.
Yes,
it's an awesome thing to be a part of.
We love it. That's so good. Well, thank you so much for watching. We pray that you have a happy and a blessed and a very Merry Christmas. And be sure and watch me next week right here in Studio C. Bye-bye.
This media is copyrighted by Jesse Duplantis Ministries for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this media or of any pictures or accounts without Jesse Duplantis Ministries' consent is strictly prohibited.